Okay, we're
There we go.
now, right?
Yeah. But was that good?
Well, sometimes the simple answer to simple problem.
We just missed a brilliant speech by Barry Friedman. All rights reserved.
Well, it actually gives me another question, a different one.
Well, I mean, let's go back on I can repeat the same one that we just did.
Just ask the same question as well, a different way. At some point in your life, you thought about, something triggered this idea about the three messiahs. I was wondering if this was a life change in you, that is suddenly a revelation, or was it something you always had this concept?
No, I believe that everyone has doubts within their faith. I mean, there's not one person that doesn't say, hey, maybe the Christians are right, hey, the Jews might be right, hey, the Buddhists might be right, hey, the Arabs might be right, hey, the Cantonese might be right, hey, the Hindus might be right, hey, the Aborigines might be right. It's human nature to query, to ask, to wonder, to think. I mean, when we've been given the freedom to think, I mean, that's what came about. So, in terms of this triggering me, to actually write the story was when I was in Mikaz Klita, down the road from here in David Raziel. I've always thought about the different messiahs that there could be for the different religions, and I started doing research when I made Aliyah, 8-9 years ago, and started putting together a treatment. I started to put together research and talking to people, and there's so many Jewish books about the Messiah and what he should be that I have access to. The Christians love telling about Yoshka or Jesus coming, being reborn, and all that kind of stuff. The Muslims, there honestly is not a lot of information. It's very difficult. They don't really feel open to discussing their religion until the person, I guess, is converted or something. I mean, I know tons about Christmas because I come from a Christian country, South Africa, and so with Americans, they know a lot about Christmas too, because then people from Europe, they know about Christmas too, because it's from Christian countries. Now, I live in the Middle East, and I guess I'm ashamed I don't know too much about the Mahajadi, or anything about the Arab world. I mean, whatever I see on television, I guess I have to believe with Arabs, because there's just no research on Google or anything else that gives representation of that.
The script explores the various aspects of the faiths, and the main character seems to have a combination of these things. His mother was Jewish, his father is Islam, he's living in an Islamic country, and suddenly he's coming to the age of Bar Mitzvah, and his mother is not comfortable about this. He's not been circumcised as a Jew, and he's not had Bar Mitzvah, and the situation in the country seems to be threatening, so she puts him on a plane to Israel, and he arrives here in the country, and he has to describe, find out who he is, why he's there, and somehow inside of him he doesn't know where he belongs. But he eventually finds out. But we know in Jewish thinking, if somebody has a Jewish mother, he's Jewish. So ethnically, he was Jewish according to his mother. But his mother also was not comfortable for some reason. She thought, my son needs to have a circumcision, because in Judaism it's on the 8th day, after 8 days they're circumcised, and in Islam it's at age of 13. And for some reason, I don't know, her Islamic husband probably was not in favour of this, so she puts him on a plane. He arrives in Ben Gurion Airport. I don't know what language he speaks, what he understood, I don't know. But he has to...
Okay, what's your question, Elchanan?
Yeah.
Well, what is your question?
The question is, well, it's not important, I mean, for the premise, to know that the ending, we don't want to, so in other words, the ending is something we're not going to discuss, we're talking about here. How would you say, in 2 sentences, in a punchy way, to say what's the screenplay about? In something that's going to captivate in headlines, in papers or anywhere, in trailers. This is about XYZ, and that is the that I personally struggle with, because it's your brainchild.
Yeah.
And I'm not a mind reader. If I was, I could make millions.
Regala, here we come. So yeah, basically in 2 sentences, elevator pitch. A young boy coming from turmoil, that's personal and international, finding freedom in the only true democracy in the world, and that's Israel. And he's actually the chosen one to actually lead the world to peace.
So, yeah, okay, that sounds okay. So in other words, we're leaving it open.
Sounds okay, what's wrong with it?
No, but that sounds good.
I mean, it's
and that seems, what you've said is sound good, because that you're saying is right. That is the opening premise, right? This guy doesn't know, nobody knows. Yeah, he doesn't know, his mother doesn't know what's going to happen. But what he does, mother needs to instinctively, I've got a Jewish boy, and some things he needs to go to Jerusalem, to Israel, to discover who he is.
That's basically how I see everyone that makes Aliyah.
And when Spielman writes in his recently.
But I mean, like, I do touch on other religions, because I think they are included. The people, you know, there are people that are included in the world of, it's not like we live in an island. I mean, Jews aren't only put on this earth. I mean, everyone has the opportunity to become a Jew. I mean, conversion. Do they want to? Who wants more responsibility? I mean, as we spoke about the 7 no hard laws, they just need to keep 7 rules. If they can become Jewish, they got 613 rules. So, and those 613, we Jews don't even know all of them. So, in terms of which is better to, to deal with the devil you do know, or deal with the devil you don't know. There's a lot of confusion in the Jewish world, because we haven't reached the Messianic age in terms of our technology. Israel at the moment, the modern Israel, is leading the way in technology for a reason, because the study of Torah, all the technology that is in the world is from the Torah. It's just it's Haredi men sitting, learning Torah in the morning, and then going to work in the evening, and making what the world gets. It's that simple, but it's pretty complicated stuff.
It's stressed in Jewish thinking. In fact, it's imprinted on us, the word truth. Hashem Elokecha, God is truth. And that, but at the same time, God, in choosing the the characters of the story doesn't necessarily choose from a good background. Like Ruth the Moabite is not coming from a good place. So he's choosing people, even within the context of Jewish, as on their personal faith, test of faith. Like it's all kind of Abraham test of faith and various tests of faith to say these are the right guys for the job. You're in. You've got the job. Either you passed the test or you didn't. So it's, a friend of mine is a filmmaker. He said that God is the writes the script and is the casting director. And I have a book behind me about Judaism and saying, is it a faith? Is it a religion? Is it ethnic? It is kind of enigmatic to accept. And I'm going to be digressing, right? This is my own stuff. So, in the end, in my thinking, as a person from psychology, psychotherapy background, when people come to a problem, they want to hear the truth. They want to hear what's happening and think if this is a place of truth. If it's not there, then nothing's going to work. And I would say, if your soul doesn't talk to my soul, nothing's going to happen here. So there is also an idea, a concept that people say, truth, the majority of the world doesn't like truth. It's uncomfortable to people to say, truth is something which people would rather not do it. But apart from all that, looking in a very simplistic way, the God looking down, or the Creator looking down, he doesn't. He's saying we talk about.
What's the question, Elchanan?
No,
the camera's rolling.
The question is, I believe that Judaism is about humanity. In other words, it's about God doesn't care to divert. We know it in the commandment.
What's the question?
The question is, it's not a question really. It's
Why are you interviewing me? You've asked me 2 questions. I've answered them.
No,
I
think we're coming from the same place, and I think you know the outcome. But we have to.
But they don't know. The people don't know that. So we've got to unfold the story very slowly for them.
Every film, right? I've learned a little bit of filmmaking.
Yeah.
There are fake allies and all kinds of stuff, and there's a character change from the in other words,
no, well, we're trying to make a story here,
Well,
the camera.
Well, I don't make the storyline. It's your story. I'm just saying now. Right, we've got a premise now. You put it in succinctly, what it was, right, in a few words. I think that's okay. And then with the most things are in 3 acts, 1, act 2, 3.
Yeah.
And so you're going to introduce the beginning. Who are the protagonists in the story?
It's pretty.
And who they are.
Pretty easily laid out.
Right.
Done.
And then you need to know some secondary characters and backstory.
Yeah, but at the moment I'm just looking for a synopsis.
Yeah.
That's,
well, so this is plot. So the synopsis, the summary of the Act 1. Usually, it's not just you're setting the scene, you're setting the thing. So. It obviously starts off in Iran or Iraq. I'm not quite sure which country it is.
It starts in Damascus. Because, so let me just explain this. Basically, it starts off in Damascus because that's still part of biblical Israel, number 1. Number 2, that is where, according to Islam, that's where the Mahajadi or the Messiah or Mashiach or whoever is going to be born. He's going to have certain characteristics that make him Messiah physically, and that's basically it. That's where he comes from. That's where he's born.
We're talking about Syria or Damascus.
Yeah.
Yeah. In the present day or in the past?
Present. Well, we're not going to get in the time machine and go back and wait for Mashiach.
Mashiach
you can't talk while I'm talking.
Oh, sorry, yeah.
During an interview. So it's you talk, then I talk. I mean, I know it's a discussion, but so basically, it's in present day with the actual story, because that is when the Messiah will be. We're not going back into Moses' time. We only learn the stories from the Parsha to put us forth to building to the future of having the Mashiach, Messianic age, or the actual rebuilding of the temple will happen in the future. I don't know anyone that thinks that it's going to happen in the past. I mean, I know CNN and Fox News will report on it. Maybe I can get them to be in the movie too, which would be great. And Oprah maybe. But I mean, like, as long as they do it in a fair and just way to the Jewish people, I've got no qualms about that. Also for the sake of humanity, for the Christians and Islam, to find out how the story will actually unravel in real life. Breaking news of Messiah coming through from Jerusalem. I mean, most rabbis' tables that I go to for Shabbos, they say, Mashiach is around the corner. I honestly don't think he's around the corner. I think he's 15-20 minutes stuck outside Jerusalem in traffic and just in despair. But that's just me.
What you're saying is interesting, because you apparently did start to put this on the paper about 8 years ago. Now in today, well, we're living now.
Don't do that with a paper. It's going to pick up on the sound.
In today, what's happened in real life today, Syria is a divided country. Many people have died and fleeing, refugees, and it could be that the mother of the boy Messiah, the young person, is sending his son away because she probably thinks he's in danger.
I have decided that I might be changing in the beginning just because of the situation. I did have something very similar when I started the movie, but let me get back to something else. Basically what we are doing here, you and me having a conversation, is very powerful. One of the most powerful things that God ever gave us, and the power of speech. Now, a baby is not born and he just starts talking. We require this skill of language, which is either defined as intelligence or ignorance. A person is judged by their tone, pitch, and presentation of their diction. A person can be specified an origin of where they live in the world according to what language they live. That's included. Within the movie, I haven't chosen a language as of yet to present in the world, because I think it's such an important thing, and as it is, film is a language on its own. People, I believe that we should only use words, speech, for praising God. In terms of writing something, that's something different, because that's written. But in terms of what people say to each other, may it only be kind words. And anything spoken good or bad against someone is speaking good or bad against God. Because there's all elements of someone's neshama, which is a soul of a person, which relates back to God. God's given us the most powerful gift, and that's speech, so we can communicate and we can try and understand each other. But it's impossible to understand you completely, and for me and for you to understand me completely, because we're wired differently. We've had different experiences. We come from different backgrounds. your kitchen is not set up the same way as my kitchen, and we have differences and we have commonalities, which can either make us or break us, or bring us together or bring us apart. So it's really up to us as individuals to decide whether we're going to always be against each other or going to be with each other. And within the movie, that's the whole point of the Messiah. One of the Jewish thoughts is that the Messiah will reunite the Jewish people. Is that impossible? I have no idea. Is it possible? I have no idea. But it's to highlight those certain aspects that are required for the coming days.
I think what you're saying is correct, and I think, for instance, in my day living in UK, there are many different people from different countries, diversity, and it was considered to be enriching society to have diverse things. Even in this country, we have Jews from other countries, black, all different parts of the world, but with Jewish souls, have been dispersed in 70 nations and coming together. But there is a common soul responsible for each other, and in broader terms, I think that the ideal situation to love your neighbour as yourself, which is the ideal, and even the Torah says there are always going to be strangers in your midst, and they have to be treated in the same law. The same laws apply to them as applies to you. And
what's the question?
No, the question is, I'm agreeing with what I'm saying. So the question,
I don't know.
is
I'm
that,
going for
right, I am assuming that I haven't read the script, and I'm saying, right, this is the scenario. There is this boy of Jewish origin. His mother decided, get out of here for some reason, and discover who you are. She prefers him to be Jewish. Obviously, she wants him to be circumcised. She wants him to have a bar mitzvah, and the place to do it is to come to Israel.
But then there's also the Jewish mother, and then there's the Arab father. I mean, I know it's sad to say, but it's kind of common. There's I can't remember the organisation.
It does happen, yes.
So, I mean, you got to ask the question: why is it happening? Why is God letting this happen? But He's letting it happen, and there's got to be a good reason for this. God doesn't create anything that doesn't have a reason, and whether it be good or bad. Even if a thing is bad, he'll have a reason for it, because with everything there's a balance of good and there's a balance of evil. Got a balance of good and evil. Now, in terms of what the mother wants, that's with most women, they get what they want. So that's basically why the boy was sent there. She wants him to be brought up in a way that she thinks is the correct way. That's the whole turmoil within the world, is everyone wants to be right. In terms of being right, it's the only person that's true, the only thing that's true is God. We're just people, we're just here to serve God. To say that my religion is better than someone else's is bogus. I got no proof of that. I got nothing, no one to say yes it is. I got no one to say that mine's the worst. No one to say that either. So in terms of any monotheistic religion being better, they all lead up to one thing, and that's a God. So it's whatever God decides will be. So us humans can only try and make the best of our lives and live by loving one's neighbor.
Do you think that the Jewish mother saw something special in her child, that he had some qualities, that was going to be a leader of some kind, to lead, that seemed to be his mission in that particular child? She saw qualities in him which she felt maybe he needed to...
No. No.
You don't think so?
I don't think. I just think she just wanted him to be what she couldn't be, and try to give him the best life. I don't think thought anything special about this. There's no. I don't think a woman thinks better of a man. Men think better of women, but women don't think better of men. Genuinely, when it comes down to actual feelings.
Well, I'm looking now as the average Jew, the stereotypical Jewish mother.
Yeah.
Sees, oh, my son's to be a doctor or something. He's
Pure ego.
Has some kind of a leaning particular thing. So maybe she thought, well, this child is spiritual or something, or he has qualities that maybe he's meant to do something special.
With a reference to the doctor, the lawyer, or whatever, that's pure ego to show off to the rest of the community. The only way a mother can actually be nurturing to her offspring is to let them decide what they like to be. It's not defining their future for them. That just brings less choices to the person or to the child. So in terms of a mother wanting the best for him, that's a different story, but that rarely happens. Unless the mother has married someone out of Judaism. And that's what the case is. That's why I'm taking this case. It's basically that as soon as a Jewish woman marries a non-Jew, she's afraid that the child will throw it in her face that she had choices and she made the wrong choice by marrying a non-Jew, because that goes against the religion. But in terms of a Jewish woman marrying a Jewish man, she's held up in the community at a high esteem, and wants the best for him. That's outside, that's Chutz La'aretz. Inside Aretz, that's a different story, but yeah.
It's very interesting. What you're saying is interesting.
It's not really the basis of the story, but...
It seems to me that we learn that a Jewish soul, even married to a non-Jewish person, is still there.
No, I'm not talking about on a soul level. I'm talking about according to the community. Don't get the two confused. I'm not.
Yeah,
I'm saying there's nothing wrong with it. I'm not. Well, according to Judaism, there's something wrong with it, but I don't choose that.
It could be. You're right. That you had a happy marriage with her.
Yeah, I'm just saying statistically. Okay, that's all I'm talking about. Maybe I should have said statistically, because Americans love saying statistically.
So looking at the Act 1, right, the synopsis of Act 1.
Yeah.
So how would you define that as in no more than 3 paragraphs to set the scene of your story, introducing the main characters and to the conflict that will drive the narrative. The first time each character's name is used, etc. This is just some guidelines. Every film is in 3 parts apparently, and the midpoint is the length of the film. Is the midpoint when things like that. I've learned a little bit, but I don't know too much about it because I've done mainly documentary stuff, and so if you were writing like Hannah Brown or somebody who talks about a particular film, right? Say how to make it that somebody's going to watch that film. Well, I'm going to go to see that film.
Oh, the obvious answer is like throw a big movie star in. I mean, that's about it. What'll make someone go see the film? What, something that's appealing about the story, or the actual cinematography? Or what are you talking about?
We're talking about
storyline.
We're talking about a trailer or a story. In other words, like a sales pitch, right? To say, right, the thing is what's going to rise the curiosity and keep that person on the edge of the seat to the end of the movie.
Yeah.
And I have seen the scripts. I know the ending. So
Yeah.
so I'm saying that we're writing here synopsis, and from that we're going to say this is something that's going to capture the people who are going to want to invest in this particular film, whatever it is. Say, right, this is an exciting idea. I personally think it is an exciting. I think it is.
Thank you. Yeah, I'll answer the question now.
Okay.
So basically, the key element that I put in was that's a religious film. In terms of religious film, it's got to relate to the whole entire world. Now, I'm a realist. I do understand that the whole entire world cannot watch this movie because, as I spoke about, was language. I've tried to minimize that with hardly any speech. However, there is speech inside the film. I could not run away from it. But in terms of it getting towards the Jewish market, the Christian market, the Islamic market, and the Buddhist market, these are all, and Hinduism, these are all markets that people plow to. I mean, everyone does go to the house of worship. You can take different biblical movies and they create interest for people that are interested in religion. If this movie is a feel-good movie, it's got a happy ending. I'm not trying to make it preachy, and it's supposed to be enjoyable and entertaining. Am I saying this is the truth? No, I don't believe any form of television, newspaper, or anything is the truth. I wouldn't say it's lies, but the only truth there is God, and the people have to replace what they've replaced in the hotel room. Instead of having a Bible in the hotel room, they've now put it next to the side of the bed. They put a TV remote. That's what people do. They make shrines of their television set, and the person's judged by their wealth of how big their TV set is, or what surround sound they have, or it's kind of sickening to think that I'm sort of anyone that's a filmmaker is a god in terms of thoughts, whether it be wicked, whether it be wonderful, can transmit to another person's subconscious and basically create a world that either could be good or bad for the person. That's what the power the filmmaker has. It used to be nobility like King David and Henry VIII and Marie Antoinette and all that kind of stuff. Now, Charlie Hebron, that gets massacred. That's upheaval in the world. News anchors, hey, did you see what was on television last night? The 7 o'clock news. A whole form of celebrity or person to look up to. The kings and queens are the celebrities, and they're leading drug, homosexual, dysfunctional lives, and they're dictating to normal people how to live. I know I was dictated to. I did what I was told on television. I thought that was the truth when I was younger. The only truth that can be told is within the Torah. I mean, I can't even learn that much Torah anymore because I've been so dysfunctionally warped by the television set, so I can only do a little bit.
I think this has been a useful conversation because I don't. I think we all don't disagree with you in the general premises, and I don't. I think in general, all faiths would like to live in peace, and not. And to, in fact, I heard it said that Judaism needs to respect other faiths, and it is also true that many Jews lived for many years in Arab countries, maybe as dimly or maybe as slightly thing, but they were able to practice the religion. And even in Iran today, there are still synagogues and many places of worship. And we also know that the golden age of Spain, where Islam and Judaism did work together. So we're living at a time where there is division, and it's affecting not just the whole of the world. Is in kind of a turmoil, and it cannot continue forever. But I think this conversation has clarified for me where you're coming from, and I'm probably coming from the same place, and there are people who might enjoy the film, there are people who be offended by the film.
I can't please everyone.
But I think in the
Trust me, I've got a thick skin.
and then I met
You chain your door for the mafia, I look out for them.
I met a filmmaker here, well known, it's a Canadian who did, because they're in, I might say there's a tomb of Jesus right somewhere in one of the
by the toilet.
Yeah, so he said, you have to tell the truth. If you're a filmmaker, you have to tell what you see as the truth, even though people don't like it. Like, for instance, when...
Well, man, the truth is that the Christians believe that Jesus is the Messiah. I can't tell them they're not right.
Well, I have many Christian friends who are pro-Israel, etc., but then they're quoting me Luke and Matthew and all this kind of stuff.
Great, they got a great memory. What? Cheers, yeah. What?
So,
kol hakavod.
I'm thinking, what in relationships with people or nation, whatever, there has to be a situation where it's a win-win situation, where it's not, where everybody.
You're right. That's what I'm trying to create with.
To say, let's say you believe in what you believe, but don't kill me, don't murder me, because somebody on the radio in England, Radio 4, I go in my car and they're talking discussion about faiths, right? And says, every faith has a kind of a book, which is okay, but
every business has a book too.
Yeah, but somebody will say, if you don't believe in my book, I'm going to kill you because you don't like my book.
But then you got to put in the book what is in the book that you can't kill. It's one of the top 3. Noah had laws.
Yeah, correct.
Can't kill.
Correct.
Nazis, they committed atrocities. They killed. They broke the book. That's why they wouldn't work. They were brought in to show how bad human beings can be. I mean, let's take, without I think it was Nietzsche or whatever, or Rambam or whatever, said if man's left up to his own devices, the whole world would be in chaos. And that's basically it. I mean, if there is no 7 Noahide laws given to Noah, to pass down to that, I mean, we only got stricter because Hashem just thought, like, there's no way that these people are going to learn. And so yeah, basically it's a collage of strict rules for both, for anyone, not to kill. I mean, so many people that get my goat and I just like to shoot them in the head, but I can't because I believe in God. It's just, to see something that I want and just to take it, it's definitely tempting. But I believe in God, so I don't do that. And I mean, a lot of people are like that. More people than you'd think. Do they act on it? No, because A, there's legalities, and B, they do believe in a God. That's the way that it's been structured in our DNA.
I'm going to finish that, just to ask a question to you. This conversation, has it been helpful to you in maybe putting down on paper this premise?
Go to our IndieGoGo campaign. No, go to our IndieGoGo campaign and donate now. Go to our Kickstarter campaign. Donate now. Yeah, I've got more. I've got different ways. I mean, just in terms of what I have with the story, I've got so many different ways, because I've seen so many different ways that the story can be told. There's so many different scenarios that you can't even touch on. I mean, I'm not saying that this movie is the truth. I'm just saying it's an embodiment of what the real can actually be, in terms of fiction and fiction and non-fiction, fact and fiction. The movie does highlight some truth. I'm not bowing away from that. I'm just trying to get people to believe in one God. If people can believe in one God, I'd be happy. I see a lot of people that bow down to the television sets. I know I was one of them. Basically, quick, let's Dublin so we can go see The Simpsons, or quick, let's go Dublin so we can go see the 7 o'clock news. That was my life. I mean, I thought, like, let me get through the Mincha and Ma'ariv quickly so I can get home and watch my television set. I mean, why the hell am I doing this?
I've got the television behind me, it's not even plugged in.
Exactly. But you still got it.
It's there.
You know.
In case you get visitors, man.
In case you get visitors, look, I'm cool. I believe in this. It's like it's a piece of furniture, but people don't see it as a piece of furniture.
What I think is it's apart from.
I mean, can I just get on the? We have Shabbos, yeah. And a lot of people are like, why can't I watch television on Shabbos? It's so relaxing. I'm not doing anything. I'm just sitting there and relaxing. They don't get it, but they are worshipping a piece of machinery. That is it. Never mind any other law. You watch TV on Shabbos. You might as well just go bow down to idols and go pray to Allah or Jesus or Buddha or whoever. It's that simple. I mean, if you go to shul on Friday night and Saturday, or you're a Christian and you go to church on Sunday, or whenever the Arabs even go pray, if 5 times a day they go pray, if everyone's just running back to go just watch TV, there's no point. There's just people are just worshipping the television set. I was one of them. I mean, that's basically it. I'm an anarchist of the TV world. I hate my profession, but I'm in it to just prove it wrong.
I think it's interesting what you're saying, and I think also there's the idea of the Shabbat is really that the husband's working and the wife, and it's the coming together family and sitting and singing together, and it's the eating meal together, and praying. It's creating the.
No, what is Shabbos? What is Shabbos? Why can't we do Shabbos on Wednesday? Why do we have to do Shabbos on Yom Shishi? Why?
Well, I think because.
Brachis, not what?
Because God is saying, I rested.
Oh.
I rested.
No, what? God. What does God have to do with anything?
What we do know, that in slavery, there was no rest day.
But why? You're talking about family and everything else, but the God is entwined into Shabbos. So now if you're going to watch TV on Shabbos, I mean, what's the point? It's basically, It's that's what I'm trying to say, is that God rested on Shabbos,
Yeah.
and what we're believing in is false idols, which is television. So please don't watch this movie on Shabbos.
Like I once went to a shul in England.
Please
right?
don't watch this movie on Shabbos.
I once went to a shul, never been to it before, and the rabbi said, and they bowed and prayed to the neon gods they made. I said, Simon and Garfunkel. Sign of Science. He said, how did you know? He was quoting it. So he said, bowing and praying to the neon gods they made, like Las Vegas and all this kind of stuff.
Elchanan, what time does the number 12 bus go? I'm just.
I think we've finished now. Right?
I'm just asking anything, any other questions? Or?
No, I think it's good for self. I think what's good about it for me is that we understand each other. Okay, now we can't not go exactly the same place, and because and also there is a difference living in Jerusalem.
Oh yeah.
There's
no, Jerusalem is beautiful.
I mean, I write so much stuff, right? I could never write it in UK.
Definitely, I find the Kedusha really shines so strong in the city, and that I actually got to step back.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, first when I go
and do less for God, so I can just obtain what He's giving me.
What you're saying is, I feel the same when I go on to shul here, because. And the blessing of the Kohanim, the Kat Kohanim, I really feel going into the soul.
Yeah.
And sometimes the prayers are too powerful. I have to just not pray. I let the Chazan say what it has. So it's
all.
It's awesome.
It's all. That's all it is. That's all you can. All you can explain it as. It's just all. It's all in the city.
Like my rabbi said here, Rabbi Zachar was a very good guy. He said that when you say a prayer here, it's worth 30 more times more powerful than even the Haredi, anybody. And another rabbi, so I listened to some rabbis and believe so. He said when a person comes to this country, a Jewish person, and maybe done many things not right, and it said in Chutz La'aretz, all your sins stick on your body like sticky notes, yeah. You come here, and you say to Hashem, "I'm sorry," all fall off. Within 30 seconds, a person becomes tzaddik. In other words, the
well, I must have had everything. I must have had 3 layers of sticky notes.
So I had written. Now another thing is, I've gone back. I've written something apart from
Should we cut now and go for a cigarette?